The Voyage of the August, presented by the Electric Light Collective. Being an account of the good ship August and her voyage from the docks at Boston to what fate befell her at sea. Episode 4, Murder.
The deck of the August.
Mr. Douglas, escort Miss Sophia below decks directly.
Aye, sir, directly.
Sophia and Douglas walk away from Maddox, introducing themselves to each other and chatting.
I'm called Douglas, miss. I'm a midshipman. Careful on these steps here.
The sounds of outside fade into creaking wood and rope, the soft shush of water against the hull heard from inside. Their footsteps continue along the passageway. Thank you, Douglas. Have you been to sea long?
Nay, this is my first voyage. I come from Quakers in Boston, and I worked on the docks until I was old enough to sign on.
Maddox is a good man. I reckon he's known me most of my life now.
How's that?
My father's Richard Montague. He owns this ship and a few others. I've been entrusted to Mr. Maddox's care crossing the Atlantic more times than I can remember.
Oh, Miss Montague. I did not know.
No, please. It's all right. I rather value my anonymity.
If you say so, miss.
I'm barely older than you, Mr. Douglas, and indeed out of my element on the deck of a ship. Let that fact allay your anxieties, at least.
Aye, that's indeed a comfort. Of course, I've less to fear from pirates and robbers than you, miss. Here's your door.
Oh, it is such a bore to be confined to my cabin all the time. Mother and I do our utmost to be polite to each other. Even she may grate on my nerves after so many hours of retching. There are only so many books I could fit in my carpet bag. Thunder, faintly from the outside.
If it please you, I could find a knife and some wood for whittling.
Whittling?
Carving bits of wood to pass the time. Mr. Maddox said it's good to occupy idle hands lest they become the devil's plaything. I could procure you a knife and some scraps from the carpenters, if it please you.
Wouldn't you know it, Mr. Douglas, that our Maddox said those same words to me not 10 minutes past. And thank you. It would please me so. Blackwall turns this corner suddenly. His footsteps can be heard, sharper than the rest of the crew, and more authoritative.
Captain, sir.
What is the meaning of this?
I beg your pardon, sir?
Have you no care for the honor of a young lady, midshipman? What designs do you have being alone with her?
Sir, it was nothing of the kind. Mr. Maddox said...
Mr. Maddox has nothing to do with this, boy. You dare speak back to your captain?
Captain?
And Miss Montague, have you no care for your good name? Your station demands you refrain from hanging about with men like him.
Excuse me, Captain. I have faith in the honesty of my father's officers. I trust you would afford them the same privilege. Thank you, Mr. Douglas, for escorting me, and good night. Sophia slams her door in the face of Blackwall and Douglas.
Sir,
You'll see the consequences of your impropriety, boy.
Blackwall and Douglas can be heard marching away from the door. We are inside Sophia's cabin.
Sophia, what is that commotion? Where have you been?
It's nothing, Mother. I'm sorry for waking you. Are you feeling any better?
Better. Adrift on this big black water. I never understood how you could bide the ocean.
Been crossing the ocean for half a decade. We all learn to bear what we must, don't we?
Is that a quote of your father's?
Something Mr. Maddox said.
Hardly better. We might shake to pieces at any moment, you know. Can't you feel it? The way the ship moves with every little wave. And the man at the helm, the slightest shiver of his hands could send us tumbling over.
The crew know their business well. Have faith.
Faith means precious little out of sight of land.
You've always trusted the August with me, have you not?
Petulance doesn't suit you, dear.
Chin up, Mother. I'll fetch you some tea from cook to settle your nerves.
Be a dear and fetch me the laudanum too, won't you?
There.
Run along then. Don't spend too much time staring into the water. I never found it good for the soul.
I'll be back directly. Sophia leaves the room, opening and closing the door with more care than before. As she walks down the passageway, the sounds of voices can be heard more clearly, and she slows and stops to listen closer.
For decency, no fucking discipline. The whole lot of you, the worst kind.
Sophia consciously decides not to investigate, and instead continues onward to rap at the timbers near where Cook Abraham spends most of his time. Cook, have you tea?
Aye, miss, I've just made hot water.
Thank you.
Careful with that now, miss. Take my word, best return to your cabin. Though the sea now be calm, we be in for a blow tonight.
I see. I appreciate the warning. Sophia takes the tin cup of tea and leaves Cook. While walking back to her cabin, the sound of raised voices again can be heard, more urgent and strained this time. Sophia's footsteps slow and stop. Eavesdropping is no pastime for a young lady, but at least with my ear to the wall, I'll hear anyone coming. The raised voices come into focus.
No man on the ship knows his place. You've been planning to usurp me from the beginning. You and that damn bug.
I beg to not dispute my good name and judgment. Montague trusts me to see his ship safe.
You're as disgusting as the rest of them, as if half the men aboard this ship did not come from the loins of whores and
I
bastards.
trust any man aboard this ship be as honorable as any officer of your thrice damned navy.
Captaincy, didn't you? And you want me dead, just like your last captain. I bet you killed him. I bet the whole crew knows you did it.
You're insane. You're fucking insane.
Isn't that it? I'm insane for seeing the corruption all around me, like gangrenous rot. There are no Christian men left on this vessel. There were never to begin with. You among them. You and your like will fucking hang for your perversions.
The sounds of a violent scuffle can be heard. Maddox yells once. Sophia gasps quietly, shocked. There's an awful sound of an object striking bone and a loud crunch, and the unmistakable thump of a limp body dropping to the floor. Sophia drops her cup of tea to the ground and steps away from the wall, struggling to contain a scream. The door of the captain's cabin, which Sophia stands adjacent to, opens and closes, and Maddox steps out.
Sophia, Miss Montague.
You?
Miss Sophia.
If you kill me, everyone will hang. No question. And I forbid anyone to hang while both of us may yet preserve our honor.
Yes.
We must think of an excuse, and quickly.
The captain's taken ill. Yes.
Quickly, pick up the body.
We need the doctor. He must be on our side.
I think I may be sick.
Do it over the side of ship, if you please. We scrub enough already to be sure.
Indeed. Sophia runs up the stairs to the deck, but before she can get there, she runs into Leon and Douglas.
Miss Montague, are you well?
You're the ship's doctor, are you not?
I am.
Mr. Maddox requires you directly outside the captain's cabin.
Very well. I shall put Mr. Douglas away and attend to Maddox. Are you quite sure you're all right?
Yes, of course, yes. I think I'm all right. Allow me to accompany you.
All right. Steady now. Mr. Douglas, we're almost there. Can you walk yourself to your hammock?
I trust I may, sir. Mr. Maddox requires you more.
I suppose he must. Be careful, Mr. Douglas. Send a man if you worsen.
Douglas's halting footsteps recede into the distance. Thunder, briefly.
Miss Sophia, what is the matter? You look pale.
I think it is perhaps better if you see. Quickly, please. Leon and Sophia's footsteps continue briefly and then stop. Leon raps against the door of the captain's cabin. Maddox, are you there?
Sophia, is Leon there?
I'm here.
Yes.
Maddox opens the door.
Sorry, do come in. I have to talk to both of you.
What is going on?
Come inside.
Fine. My God, ma'am, what happened to the captain?
There was a...
My God, Maddox.
I know.
What the hell were you thinking? Oh my God.
Doctor, this is no time for scolding.
Is he...
The captain is dead. Not even I can fix a broken skull.
Goodness.
Fuck. Shit. Bugger.
Indeed.
My... Apologies, Miss Sophia. Please pardon my language.
I think we're far beyond that, Mr. Maddox.
What happens now?
We're all going to be shot. Oh, fuck.
Pull yourself together. There is a way out of this.
Leon.
Me and you, it's all right.
Maddox takes a breath.
Any road. There's a storm almost on top of us. I must see to the ship and its crew.
I should return to my cabin before Mrs. Montague notices my absence. The door opens and closes as Sophia leaves, but lingers to eavesdrop on Maddox and Leon.
A fine miss.
I'll tell the crew that the captain is taken ill. They won't question that.
Do that. Miss Sophia is right. We can find a way out of this later.
Leon.
Nobody will hang for this. Not you, not I, not Douglas. Nobody.
Maddox sighs again.
You'll know where to find me.
And you me.
Sophia ducks into her cabin and the closing of a door is heard. Maddox's footsteps recede into the distance and climb the stairs above decks. Faintly we hear him calling to the crew.
Shorten stuns. Make it fast before the storm's upon us.
I'll sing you a song of the fish in the sea. It's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys. When the wind goes, we're all together, boys. Blow ye winds westerly, blow ye winds blow. Johnny southwester, boys, steady she goes. Up jumps the heel with his slithery tail, climbs up the mast and he reaps the topsail. It's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys. When the wind blows, we're all together, boys. Blow ye winds westerly, blow ye winds blow. Johnny southwester, boys, steady she goes. Up jumps the shark with his 9 rows of teeth. Says you'll eat the dough, boys, and I'll eat the beef. And it's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys. When the wind blows, we're all together, boys. Blow ye winds westerly, blow ye winds blow. Johnny southwester, boys, steady she goes. Up jumps the whale, he's the largest of all, saying if you want windy boys, I'll blow ye's a squall. It's windy weather, boys, stormy weather, boys. When the wind blows, we're all together, boys. Blow ye winds westerly, blow ye winds blow. Johnny southwester.